Fallout isn't about the monsters. It's about what happens when survival costs you your humanity. Because the scariest creatures in Fallout aren't the ones trying to kill you, they're the ones that used to be people. Today, we're talking about the most tragic creatures in the Fallout universe, not based on strength, not based on danger, but based on what they lost just to stay alive. This isn't a top 10 strongest monsters video. This is about consequences. Every creature we're talking about today exists because someone believed science could fix humanity, radiation could be controlled, or evolution could be forced. And every single time, Fallout proves the same thing: survival without choice isn't progress, immortality without a life. Ghouls are living proof that radiation doesn't always kill you. Sometimes it just leaves you behind. Ghoulification happens when humans are exposed to the right amount of radiation. Not enough to kill them, just enough to rewrite their DNA. The result is functional immortality, rapid regeneration, immunity to radiation, and survival in places no humans could ever endure. On paper, that sounds like evolution, but here's the cost: ghouls are sterile. They don't have a future, they can't have children. Their bodies decay, their faces rot away, and their voices change. And over time, many lose their mind. That process is called fertilization. A ghoul doesn't die, they slowly fade. Memories first, then their personality, then finally language, until what's left is a creature acting on instincts alone. The most terrifying part? They know it's coming. Ghouls are hunted, banned, evicted, abused. Not because for what they've done, but because of what they might become. Some cities exile them, some harvest them, others force them into ruins to hide until they lose themselves. Immortality means watching your family die, your world disappear, and yourself slowly vanish. Living forever doesn't matter if you don't recognize who you are anymore. Immortality isn't a blessing if it comes with a countdown. Ghouls didn't escape death, they just postponed it and paid for it every day after. Ghouls don't represent death, they represent life without meaning. A future that can't continue. Super mutants are created by exposing humans to the forced evolutionary virus, or FEV. The result is massive strength, disease resistances, radiation immunity, and an altered intelligence. But there's one trait every super mutant shares: they are all sterile, they can't reproduce. Some strains can't even biologically continue themselves, which means the moment a super mutant is created, their future ends. What good is strength if there's nothing left to build toward? A species without a future isn't evolution, it's a dead end. Super mutants weren't made to last, they were made to solve a problem no one planned beyond. A future you can't pass on is just a sentence with extra steps. Elites that broke first. Nightkin were the best of the best. The elite super mutants chosen by the master. Smarter, stronger, handpicked. They were given stealth boys, experimental cloaking technology, and it worked too well. They weren't tools given to soldiers. They were rewards for obedience. Prolonged stealth boy use damaged their brains. Nightkins developed paranoia, hallucinations, schizophrenia, and split personalities. They know the technology is killing them, but without it, they feel exposed, vulnerable, unchosen. So they keep using it. Imagine knowing that the thing that makes you feel safe is also slowly destroying you. An addiction doesn't always look like weakness. Sometimes it looks like survival. When the master died, the Nightkin lost everything: purpose, command, and identity. Some isolated themselves, others followed false leaders. Many descended completely into madness. They were built to be angels of a new world. Instead, they became ghosts of a dead ideology. Nightkin aren't tragic because they are insane. They're tragic because they were made perfect for a future that never came. Science without mercy. Centaurs are what happens when FEV stops pretending. They were created by throwing humans, animals, and anything nearby into the FEV vats and seeing what crawled out. They are fused bodies, multiple limbs, multiple heads, and conflicting instincts. Some attack from range, while others attack themselves. Some scream like a part of them still knows something is wrong. They aren't soldiers. They aren't experiments. They're waste products. There's no ideology here, just suffering that survive the process. Centaurs aren't failures of science. Their indifferences made flesh. They exist because somebody asked what if and never asked the question, should we? The perfect weapon. Deathclaws were engineered by the US military, not mutated by accident, designed. They were meant to replace soldiers in search and destroy missions. Stronger, faster, fearless. When the bombs fell, they escaped and they evolved. Deathclaws became apex predators, thick armor like hide, and pack behavior. Territorial dominance. Some strains even developed advanced intelligence. They don't hate humans. They don't kill for cruelty. They're just doing what they were built to do. There's something terrifying about a creature that doesn't choose violence. It embodies it. It was made for it. Weapons don't ask if they're justified. Deathclaws aren't evil. Their instructions just never got turned off. The Enclave tried to reclaim them. Some Deathclaws gained intelligence, language, culture. For the first time, they stopped being weapons and started being like normal people. The Enclave exterminated them anyway, because weapons aren't allowed to choose peace. Deathclaws aren't tragic because they're violent. They're tragic because they never had a choice. Every Fallout creature answers the same question: what are you willing to lose to survive? Ghouls lost their identity. Super mutants lost their future. Nightkin lost sanity. Centaurs lost humanity. And Deathclaws lost their choice. Fallout isn't about monsters, it's about what humanity does when it panics. If you enjoyed this breakdown of these Fallout creatures, please subscribe to the Hyperfix Hub. Check out my last video on Stranger Things versus Fallout. And then check out the video before that about Raul Tejada, the ghost of Mexico City. Thank you.